Hello. So, I just want to clarify something that the other day, yesterday actually, I put out this NFT, non-fungible token. It's a private transmission that I made. I think it's workshop ready material, and it's new. It's a brand new insight I received. It's actually very, very, very effective. I've been using it, and I didn't want to just put it out there. I've been doing that for years, and that whole don't cast pearls on swine thing in the Bible. The more that I think about it, the more I've realized that the more closer I get to the truth, because my results begin to reflect that. They begin to show the kingdom opening up and the things start happening and manifesting, the smaller my audience gets. And I've noticed that what it said in the where did it say that? I read it somewhere along the line that you're not supposed to tell the world when you've discovered these truths. And so I'm really going kind of private with a lot of my new stuff, and I figure it's better that way. And for those who really want it, they can get it. And I'll continue to put out content, and I'll continue to minister. But when I get these deep downloads and I get these new insights that I usually put in my books and things, I will put them in books. And this one, actually, I may turn into a book. I probably will turn this into a book. So it's going to be, it looks like a picture of me. It's an NFT. I just put that up there for the picture part. But if you get it, it unlocks a private video and also opens up a link to a Telegram group. And then on Wednesday, the 29th of December, I'm going to do a 4-hour training on that particular transmission, because that's a transmission that's meant for you to watch about 10 times. It's based on the new insight I had, and it's going to show you a visual demonstration, a graphical type awareness that will give you a tool to work with in your conscious mind while you're working through the principles that are contained within it. And so that's really the key. And then I made it limited to 100. So it's 1 of 100, 2 of 100, whatever. I figured there's a very, very small percentage of people in the world that actually want to go that far and want to learn that much. And that it is what it is, right? I've been doing this for years now, and I've realized that most people want the superficial story. They want the topical, carnally minded story. They want to know about personality versus principle. They're not really interested in demonstrating, ultimate truth in their life. And that's just the state of consciousness that the majority tend to gravitate towards. So instead of me putting it out there and putting it out there and putting it out there, I just decided to make something special for those who actually want it, and have a little bit of girth to it, so that when you take and you adopt this teaching, you literally own it. It's a piece of history that you have in your collection, and you can also resell it down the line if it ever becomes valuable. Who knows? You never know, right? I know that the wisdom itself is extraordinary, and it's light years beyond anything that I've ever learned in any religion or any church that I've ever been to. But I guess that's up to you to decide if you want it. So I just wanted to clarify that it's not just a picture. If you get it, it's not like, oh yeah, I just bought a picture of Matthew and I have it in my... No, that's just the placeholder that I put there. I don't have a visual to put on this teaching. It's something that I downloaded it over a few hours the other day. I was using some monatomic gold. I was in meditation, and sometimes this hits me, and all of a sudden I see it. And what happens is that my pineal gland opens up, and I start to see interdimensionally. And when that happens, I really pierce through, and I get my next insight. And this happens a few times a year, really. So I think every time this happens, what I'm going to do from here forward is make it into an NFT experience, and then maybe offer it 100 copies of it. And that's how I'm going to do it. And that's really the way that I think going forward. I think a lot of composers and artists and teachers, they're going to be using the blockchain that way to create private exclusive material that you can have ownership of, tokenize it, and then, create that sort of economy around it. And the economy of scale that I'm looking at right now is really, it's a smaller niche segment. And if you like the wisdom, and you know who you are, then I don't have to like be out there in the public eye and doing all this stuff, because to be honest with you, since the carnal mind is enmity against truth, all right? And most people are carnally minded. And if they find out that you walk with wisdom and walk with truth, they tend to attack that. And they tend to, they think you're weird, they think you're crazy. And ultimately their results are so piss poor that they can't even realize that they're swimming in their own crap. But when you have wisdom, it's like you can cut through that with a hot knife through butter, and your results speak for themselves. But you should also cloak yourself, okay, when you walk amongst them, just like in the movie The Matrix. When Morpheus says, be careful, they're programmed to attack you. They literally are. That's the carnal mind. So what I'm going to do is, this transmission will give you a new insight, which I foreshadow and I foretell will come in the movie The Matrix that's going to come out on the 22nd. So I recommend, if you get the NFT, that you unlock it, you watch the video, you go through the whole training. It's an hour long, and it's got a step-by-step protocol that I'd like for you to consider. And I'm going to teach on that in the 4-hour training, but I'm also going to simultaneously go through every part of the new Matrix movie, because I'm going to watch it at least 2 to 3 times before then. It comes out on the 22nd, so I'll catch it a few times. And I'm going to break down all of the truths in plain sight that they put in there, and then integrate that with the new teaching, so that if you choose to watch that movie in the future again, you will see through all of the programming that's put in plain sight. See, they have to tell you in plain sight how everything works. And that's the key, is that when you have an awareness of this, that's why I just released the video about the Matrix Resurrections. I know of what's to come in that movie, and I know what it's going to reveal, and I'm excited to share it, and I'm excited to just uncloak all of the mysteries that are within that movie. And then that recording will also be part of the NFT too, so that 4-hour training will also be something that you keep with your library. So let me just sum it up. So I put out an NFT, right? First thing, I'm just trying it. It's the first time I've ever done it. It's a private training, all right? So it's not a picture of me. That's just a placeholder. If you get the training, okay, it's 0.0333 ETH, right? Okay, that's for a reason. And there's a reason why I chose ETH, all right? I'm using the numbers, and you're also submitting currency through the ether, and you're going to tie into this consciousness, all right? Everything that I put in there is all for a very specific reason. Okay, it's a ritual. Yes, I am performing a ritual with you. Of course, that is exactly what I'm doing. And I'm going to give you the insights of that movie that's coming out. I'm going to give you the new insight that I received, which I think will absolutely change your life forever. And only if you do it. Only if you go through the training. Okay, that's the disclaimer. All right. I'm going to give you the training, and that's all yours to keep forever. All right. And I think it's going to be amazing. I don't know if anybody will do it. Don't really care, because what I've discovered is that the better the wisdom gets, throughout the years, I've watched my audience go down, 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 down. As soon as I started leaving more and more ignorance, and I started getting more and more into truth, where my results would be mind-blowing now, I've noticed that just the few, and that's okay. Because I'm not here to try to impress you. I'm not here to try to please you. I don't even need to do this. The only reason I do this is because this is what helps me flow. This is what helps me remember. I have to give out of what I have in order to keep it. All right? But I'm also not going to cast pearls on swine. I'm going to take a lot of my best stuff that comes out, and I'm going to make it exclusive for those who really, really want it. All right? And I'm not just going to put it out there, because to the average person, when you start talking like I do, and I'm sure you've noticed this, if you start talking like this, they think you're nuts. In fact, they are crazy. They are living in a delusion. But because when you come from truth, their carnally mindedness will come at and attack you and have an opinion about it, and they'll think you're weird. And in all honesty, I'd like to go under the radar and just give my best work to those who really want to exploit it and really want to profit from it in that way. Okay, I've put all my books out there, everything's out there. I don't need to impress anybody. I don't need to try to like get followers and all this. I don't really care about that anymore. I'd rather take it the opposite direction and get rid of all those people that just look at it and then they just do nothing with it, because that's a total waste of time. That's casting pearls on swine. I'd rather just let them just go do what they're going to do. Just go do what you're going to do. And if you like the wisdom, I've already put out 500 public videos. Then they can come get the deep stuff and all the private stuff, and then they can actually own it. All right. So that's my impetus. That's where I'm going. And it just makes me feel more secure in going forward, because I know that the best is yet to come. And remember what it said in the Gospel of Philip in the Nag Hammadi Library. Christ said, "He who has discovered himself, the world is not worthy of him." Okay. I got to go with it. I'm not here to try to change the world. I don't really want to cast pearls on swine, because I really believe that the carnal mind is going to maintain. You see, the lesson is going to keep going for all of eternity, and it's not going to change. I'm not here to try to change the carnal mind. I'm here to leave it. All right. That's really what I'm offering you. Do you want to leave the carnal mind? Do you want to unplug from the matrix? This transmission will unplug you from the matrix, this NFT. That's what I'm telling you in plain sight. If you want it, it's yours. 0.0333 ETH, all right? That's for a very specific reason, all right? I'm using the same techniques and strategies that the rulers use, but I'm going to do it to give you the opt-out button. So there you go.